ordered the AccuQuilt Winding Ways die, but you're scared to take it out of the package? Well, watch this video and you'll be stitching up this block in no time. Stay tuned! Hi everybody, I'm Ebony Love of Quilt Possible, and today's video is going to focus on Winding Ways. The Winding Ways die is made for both the AccuQuilt Studio and the AccuQuilt Go. The Studio and Go dies, while the end result is the same, you'll get an 8-inch finish block, the dies are slightly different. So today I'm going to demonstrate using the Studio die. When we get to the actual sewing instructions, it will apply to both the Go and the Studio. Let's take a look at the Winding Ways Studio die. This is a giant die, so the board is pretty large. There are 3 shapes on this die that I have labeled A, B, and C. As with any die that I own, I always outline them with a silver Sharpie marker, so that helps you to see better on the video, and it also helps to see as I'm cutting. The nice thing about the Studio die is that it's going to cut the full Winding Ways block all at once, so you're not worrying about matching up pieces. One 12-inch square, which I have also marked on the die itself, if I cut a 12-inch square, that's going to completely cover the Winding Ways shape. Traditionally, Winding Ways is cut in it's stitched with 2 alternating colors. So today's demonstration is going to be with a violet color and a neutral. So that'll come out really nicely. So what I've done on this die also is I have drawn 2 registration lines, which you can see matching here in the corner. This die does not have the shapes completely aligned. They are spread out and shifted a little bit, so you will need to align your registration line. I've marked 1/4 inch outside the topmost shape, and I've drawn a straight line, and then I've done the same thing on the side, which is 1/4 inch outside the outermost shape. And so that gives me a nice line to align my fabric to. So I actually have some 12-inch squares here. I've got 4 of them because I'm going to be making 4 blocks. So you will need 1 of each color. So you typically end up with 2 blocks. So if you use 1 of each color, you get 2 blocks, 2 of each color, you get 4 blocks, etc. This isn't really a block that you can do just 1 of. You really need to cut 2 in order to have the alternating colors that you need. So I have aligned these 4 fabrics with the fabric face up, and I'm going to lay that face up on the die. So you can't see me do that here, but I will show it to you in a second. Okay. So I've got those squares. They are aligned on the die with the registration marks there straight, and now we're going to do some cutting, so see you in a second. Alright, so Winding Ways is all cut. I always like to take a look at the fun shapes that the waist creates. So this is Winding Ways completely cut out. So I've just removed the waist fabric around the die so that you can see the shapes a little bit more clearly cut out. Now, when Winding Ways is pieced, it is, as I mentioned before, pieced so that you have alternating colors. So the 4 center pieces, shape A, are going to be the same color, while B and C are a different color. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to reverse the shapes for A so that I have the purple on top, and that's going to help you see this just a little bit better. So I'm going to reverse those 4 shapes as opposed to the 8 other shapes that I have on the die. So that's just going to take 1 second here. And the reason I do this is because this is going to help me piece this very easily because all the pieces are going to match up with the right color. So I'll have these in the order that they're going to be stitched. Alright, so again what I've done is when I originally cut this, I had 2 of the white squares on top of the 2 purple ones, and so I cut that, and then I just moved the 2 purple shapes for shape A on top of the white. So those are still stacked on here, so you can see that this is going to make a neat block. So I'll actually have 2 alternating color patterns, and you'll see that when we get to the actual stitching. Since we're going to be stitching soon, just a little tip that I have for you. I co-opted a cookie sheet from my kitchen. A lot of things from my kitchen end up in my studio. But what's nice about the cookie sheet is I can easily transport the shapes that I cut for winding ways, which is kind of important because there are so many of them. But I can easily transport my winding ways pieces to the sewing area. So I'll get that all lined up here and then meet you at the sewing machine.